This is the Cape Camellia. It is 300 metres long, 50 metres wide, and carries around 200,000 tonnes. After 11 days at sea, it has arrived off the Western Australian coast at Port Hedland, one of the nation's most important economic hubs. This ocean giant will be skillfully piloted into port along a 23 nautical mile or approximately 40-kilometre channel and safely moored using some of the world's most advanced port management systems to minimise risks, improve efficiencies, and to keep Port Hedland open for ships and their multi-million-dollar cargoes. In 2013-14, Western Australia exported $74 billion worth of iron ore, of which $40 billion was exported through Port Hedland. Port Hedland is responsible for a quarter of global seaborne iron ore trade and close to 60% of Australia's iron ore exports. The numbers are huge, so the requirement to operate a port that is safe and efficient is vital. Navigating a vessel that's 4 Boeing 747s long into one of the world's tightest ports takes incredible skill. Only a handful of pilots can do it.
Turn a port shoulder coming around to the starboard shoulder, thanks.
Port Hedland is definitely a challenging port from a marine perspective. Every ship's different, every day is different, the tidal conditions, the environmental conditions, and managing the risk of those ships in and out of the port is critical because there's about $100 million worth of product and profit to our customers goes out of the port every day here. So in terms of what we do here every day to the state revenue and the revenue of our customers is very critical.
Chip, miss it.
The channel is an average of 14.8 metres deep and 183 metres wide at its narrowest point. A typical Cape-class ship, the biggest to use the channel, is 60 metres wide, but will pass along the channel at an angle to compensate for the high tide current pushing against it, leaving just 45 metres clearance on either side. During a sailing window, a vessel leaves the port every 30 minutes, a tight, safe and manageable schedule. The pilot must know exactly what's going on around and beneath his ship, plus other ships convoying the channel at the same time.
On any tide here, we may have 6, sometimes 7 Cape-sized vessels sailing in the channel.
Each pilot carries a highly specialised navigation kit on board every vessel they manage, a portable pilot unit.
If a ship suffers an engine or steering failure in the channel, the pilot needs to know exactly where the ship is and how it's proceeding. This is fed with real-time information. The outline here shows the ship. We have heading, rate of turn, distance off the track, course over the ground and speed, and also the positioning of all of the other ships and tugs that are manoeuvring in the port and the infrastructure. So when you're exporting 25% of the iron ore that's carried by ships in the world today through a single channel, the main aim of the game is channel integrity. Keep that channel open, safely moving ships in and out of the port.
Pilots need to know exactly the gap between the keel of a fully laden 260,000-tonne ship and the channel floor at all times.
Port Hedland was one of the first ports in the world to utilise dynamic underkeel clearance, allowing us to sail vessels with a minimum of 25 centimetres of underkeel clearance. We overlay that onto the actual positioning system and it shows up the areas that the ship cannot sail in. With this new technology, we can see very quickly where a safe passing manoeuvre may take place. This gives us the ability, when we've got multiple ships in the channel, for one ship to be able to pass another safely.
So with more than 1 million tonnes of iron ore passing through the Port Hedland channel on any given tide, it's critical for the port to provide safe and efficient operations. Another priority is enhancing and maintaining the specialist skills of marine pilots and navigators.
Inspire, crew standing by to make it fast.
1,800 kilometres to the south in Fremantle, in an Australian first, Port Hedland pilots and tugmasters practice emergency procedures in a navigation and maritime simulator, which recreates the port to the last detail. Even virtual weather conditions and emergency situations
Being able to replicate real-life situations as closely as possible means we can practice manoeuvres that are far too dangerous to do in real life.
Pilots operate from a simulated bridge and direct tug masters in separate simulator rooms. A virtual port with real-life scenarios.
The level of realism that the simulator brings that is so valuable. It's just like being out here on the tugs. So when we come back and on the job, it's like we've done them 100 times.
Inspire, come to a position with crew, let you go, let go when you're ready, Inspire.
Leading ahead on a slack line.
Port Hedland has 17 operational berths, with 2 more under construction. Ropes are used at most of them to secure ships alongside. A 45-minute operation. Number 4 berth, owned and operated by PIlbara Ports Authority, is different.
Inspire, push it slow, Inspire.
It's fitted with a unique mooring system, which uses a vacuum system to hold the ship alongside in 40 seconds.
The Cavitec mooring system is a very innovative technology here in the port. So we've installed 14 suction mooring system units on our berth number 4. So each one of these units can exert a 20-ton suction force and holds the ship in place over the period of the tide. The units then basically talk to each other and they move up and down with the tide to make sure that the vessel is fully secured at all times. We save quite a lot of time in terms of the tie up and let go. So instead of tying a ship up that takes 30 to 45 minutes, you can actually tie a ship up and make it secure in about 60 seconds. There's 2 main advantages of the Cavitec system. Is one, you don't have lines under tension in close proximity to your people, but the main benefit for us at our Utah Point number 4 berth is that we can get much larger vessels alongside, which turns the facility into a much more viable berth than it used to be.
It's another layer of technology that keeps the port running smoothly and safely. Western Australia's mineral export industry relies on a massive supply chain. Technology and systems, together with a multi-million-dollar investment by PIlbara Ports Authority, protect ships and the efficiency of the channel, ensuring port operations is the strongest link in the iron ore supply chain.